Hi, welcome into Running with Mouse with heart disease, CHD. This is episode 4, episode 1. And I'm your host, Josh. Today, we are talking about running a marathon. So in this season, we'll be doing a marathon. Before we start talking about that, just wanted to let you know that when I was born, I had a complication with my heart, and it was coarctation of the aorta. Had that repaired, and then 5 months later, I had the VSD repair, but I still have a valve leak, and my heart's oversized. And with that being said, some stuff that I struggle with, which would be talking while I run. I cannot talk while I run. If I do that, then I'll have to start walking to catch my breath. And then the other thing is when I'm going up like a hill that's like 40% incline, then I can make it to the top, but I'll have to walk for a little bit to catch my breath. Or I can just walk up the hill and then start running once I hit the top. So with that being said, it doesn't seem like any food that I eat or anything has helped that. But we're still learning, and I'm sure that doing different things could help it. I remember I did switch off of dairy, and that helped my breathing a lot. Not eating dairy products. So that's helped a lot. I just worry about getting calcium sometimes. I'm not eating dairy. Basically, some foods that have a lot of calcium would be almonds and spinach, but not as much as dairy. So I've been taking some supplements for that, calcium supplements. So, but anyways, so this season's going to be about 7 weeks. So, a schedule, talking about a schedule, everybody's going to have their own schedule. So with that being said, for me, like this is going to be pretty quick for me. 7 weeks to run a marathon is pretty quick. Basically, any given day for me, I can run 10 miles, right? So starting with 10 miles the first week, and then going up 2 miles each week after that. So in this schedule that I've created, I don't have time to get sick, and I don't have time for injury or any kind of thing that could come up in my life. Whether it be if you're working, if you have deadlines to meet, and you're not able to run that long run that weekend or something like that. So, if you're creating a schedule for yourself, you definitely might want to put in, makeup weeks or weeks that you could get sick, or maybe a down week where you don't run as far. And then wherever you start, there's plans where you go up, 1 mile every week, 2 miles every week, or 3 miles every week. So it's whatever you're kind of comfortable with, I would say. For me, I'm comfortable, I think, with adding 2 miles each week. And going from there. Running a marathon is a little bit different than running an ultra. Just as with the races, I would find that there's a lot of aid stations at ultras, especially city ones. So, you don't really need a water pack. And if you're a really, really fast runner, you can get done with a marathon in like 2-3 hours, right? So, and you probably don't need to even worry about the water so much, or maybe food so much. But anyways, usually it takes me, 5 hours to run a marathon. So for me, definitely going to be focused on the food and the water. But like I said, where I run with my training, there's a lot of water fountains, and I can carry some food, little food, but yeah, it should be a little bit different training wise for a marathon than an ultra, because I'm going to have food and water pretty convenient for my training and for my for the race itself. So, which is great. I have recently added eating more olive oil in my diet, and apple cider vinegar. I've been adding that, to my diet, and I can talk about that through the training in the weeks ahead, and seeing how it helps me or it doesn't help me. And like I said before, I don't do the dairy. Been off of that for a while. And I wanted to eat seafood, but I've stopped eating shrimp, because I don't know, every time I ate shrimp, I seem to be out of breath. So I definitely have some kind of food allergy to shrimp. So stayed off of that. Okay. So basically, with this podcast, I try to just eat whole foods, and I try to in the training as well, eat whole foods. So, but I think I'm gonna add in some processed protein shakes. I guess all protein shakes are kind of processed, but hopefully we'll get some good ones to drink. I also want to eat banana and an apple in this season, maybe before I go on the long run. And basically my schedule's kind of looking like 2 weeks of running, or 2 times running in 1 week, and then I'm going to do a Wednesday just kind of like sprint and jog up a treadmill for 30 minutes, and try to go see from there something different from this season, from last season, besides the food. I would say I'm gonna stretch both seasons. I wasn't stretching, so I'll try to stretch in this season. Maybe every day be stretching, and see how that affects the running. And I'll let you know in the coming episodes if it really improves or it doesn't really improve. The time that I'm running is pretty nice outside. It's just going to be very nice weather. Anywhere from, let's see, 75 degrees to 45 degrees, or maybe 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So not really sure what that is in Celsius. I'd like to say maybe 17 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there. If you're listening to this in another country, other than the United States. So going over that schedule, I'm going to have 2 days where I lift weights, and then I think a day where I do some steps. And I've changed up the stepping routine a little bit. I used to do sprints up the stairs, and then hop up the stairs, and then do one leg hops up the stairs. Recently I started to hurt my ankle doing that, so I think I just stick to sprinting up the stairs and not do the jumps up the stairs, because definitely don't want to have an injury going into the race. I'm also playing a sport usually I don't do, because I don't want to risk getting injured, but hopefully playing softball, I won't get injured. That's a sport maybe. Hopefully I won't get injured. Right? So, but I will put in the descriptions of the episodes coming up about my routines and my workouts. And feel free to message if you want a workout schedule I can customize for you. If you tell me, or if I'll have to ask you a couple of questions about where you're starting from and all that. And then we can customize a plan for you, no problem. But I'll have to say, I grew up, eating fast food, and I got this huge stomach. Any day I can eat like a 2-pound hamburger. So, and this is for real. Like, this is, it's no joke. I got this humongous stomach. So it's definitely hard for me to feel full. But I find with eating whole foods and changing my diet has definitely helped. Also, running has helped me discover my body and what foods are good for me in a sense and what foods aren't. I used to work out all the time, and you never feel the effects of dairy if you just lifting weights or just running a little bit. But if you're running for long distances, you can definitely tell what foods kind of work for your body and what foods don't. And I knew right off the bat, as soon as I stopped dairy, how it impacted my body. So running's definitely helped me discover what foods help and what foods are not good for me in a sense of running far, I guess. So, but yeah, I just try to limit processed foods. The biggest thing is snacking, right? So usually I just snack on olives or nuts of some sort or seeds. So that helps with the snacking instead of reaching for chips or crackers. So, but guys, we got a lot of episodes ahead of us, and we're going to see what works and what doesn't. And hopefully, listening to this, you have more information about running. And just make sure that if you do have a heart condition, or before you start anything, make sure that you talk to your doctor or your cardiologist and make sure it's safe for you to run. Okay? Because the last thing I want is anybody to get injured by listening to this. So make sure that you get all your checks before you start. Okay. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.